it working? Any? It's on? All right. Can you see the board? Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and start it. Listen, there's in this lesson, there are 3 things you're going to learn, okay? So it's angles and circles. Let's review very quickly what we've learned so far about angles and circles and so on. So, if I have a circle and there's an angle that intersects at the center point, what is that called, Sarah? Central angle. So that's called a central angle. What if we know what the central angle is 50, Jabel, what is the arc? 50. Good. So then we all agree central angle, and then we're good with that, right? Then yesterday we learned inscribed angle. What was an inscribed angle? Is if the angle was where? On the circle, right? So if I gave you the angle as 40, what was the arc?
80.
And how do we find that?
By multiplying by 2.
2 times it by 2. If they give you the arc, how do you get the angle? Any questions on that? Everybody's good with that? Okay? All right. We also learned 4 theorems as well yesterday. Okay, if you recall. Yes, Chloe. You know? What was the first one? What was the first theorem we did? It was 8.3.2. Right up top. If the arcs were congruent, the angles were congruent. The second one was if the chord was congruent, the arc was congruent. The third one was if the chord was congruent, the angles. And then the last one is if the arc is congruent, then the seal one, right? Remember, those are the 4 theorems we went over yesterday. Okay? Now, today we're going to give you 3 things. Okay? In, out, on. These are your 3 things you need to learn. In, out, on. In, out, on. So when you have a basketball and you shoot the ball at the rim, it's going to go in, it's going to go out, or it's going to be on the rim, right? And stay there, right? Everybody agree with me? All right? Everybody got it? Now, let me relate this to you. Each one of these is a method, and I'm going to tell you how you can remember it using your home. Okay? And that's how we're going to remember these. Now, what this is for is to solve for angles of using multiple arcs. Okay? If I have a circle, in the circle would be what? Where would the point be? Inside. Somewhere inside, right? Somewhere. Doesn't matter where, but inside the circle. If it's outside the circle, where would it be? Where would the point be? Somewhere outside. If it's on the circle, it's going to do what? On the circle. I mean, we're really deep right now, right? Is everybody good so far? So let's review. If I have an angle, okay, everybody look up. If I have an arc and I need to solve for an angle of one that intersects on the circle, what would it be? Inscribed. So it's just simply going to be what? 1/2 arc equals my angle. Is everybody good with that? We know that because we did that yesterday. Are there any questions? If they intersect on the circle, they are going to give you that equation. Is everybody good? Mm-hmm. So far, so good. We're all good, moving in the right direction. So we said outside. What does outside mean?
Outside.
Is my point intersecting outside? Yes or no?
Yes.
Good. Watch carefully. Everybody look up here. When you get married, and you move out of the house. Won't ever happen for Dylan, but for the rest of
You just got me.
So listen, Listen. All right. Bring it back, Faith. Bring it back. That wasn't that fun. All right.
I felt that.
You felt the burn. I got out of my office. All right. Listen. Here it is. Listen. So if you get married, you move out of the house. That means you are now subtracted from the family.
Wow.
Listen. Which means, look, I have two arcs. Arc here, arc here. Arc minus arc. That gives me my angle. So your equation is going to be if they're outside, if you marry outside, then you're going to be subtracted. You are no longer allowed to be added to. You are subtracted from your family. And so therefore you subtract the arcs. By the way, can you have a negative angle? No. So you're going to always have the big one minus the little one to solve for the angle out here.
Doesn't this only apply to women?
Sure, why not? Whatever you want. All right. Next. The last one. The last one. Inside. Inside the circle. If they intersect inside the circle, what do you think it's going to be?
Arc plus arc?
Because if you're added to the family, you're brought inside the house, you're added to the family. You ever got it? You are added to the family, you're in the house anymore. Once you get married, you're out of the house. Is that fair? So if you're brought in, then you're added. If you're kicked out, you're subtracted. We can do, and if they're on, then you're just half of it.
I'm here for food and laundry.
Yeah. So watch. This is going to be arc plus arc. We will do problems, but these are your equations that you'll need for this. Okay? Okay? So all you're doing, listen carefully, guys. All you're doing, you identify which one you're going to use based on where it's located, in, out, or on. Then you use that equation to solve for your answer. Okay? So we're going to do a couple problems now. Is everybody following? Okay, so watch carefully. Let's do a couple problems here, and then I'll release you to do some problems here. All right, so here we go. First problem. All right, so first off, where do those two lines intersect? In, out, or on?
Out.
So which one are we going to use?
Out.
Okay, so 1/2 arc minus arc, guys. Hey, guys. Stop, please. So 1/2, 100 minus 60. 100 minus 60 is? 40. 40 times 1/2 is?
20.
So our answer is, so our angle is 20.
Oh, I like that.
Okay? Okay. All right, next. Let's do another one. Hey, so look at this one. First off, where does it intersect? Where are those two lines intersecting? On. What equation am I going to use?
1/2.
Okay, so listen. So look. That's the question. That's the question. Look, we need this arc, right?
Yes.
So, what's this arc?
80.
What's this arc?
70.
Add those together, what do you get?
150.
360 minus 150 is?
210.
Right? So 1/2 times 210 is?
105.
And that's your answer.
Wow.
Okay? You don't add them. I know it's confusing. You're not adding them because that isn't in the circle. That is on the circle. So you have to find this arc to solve for it. Is everybody following? That's what they're going to do to you. They're going to give you different examples like this that you're going to have to look at and be careful with. Yes.
So are we ever gonna use?
All right, don't talk, please,
Are we
guys.
ever gonna like get the angle and then only get?
I'm going to give you those in a second. We're not there yet. I haven't gotten that far. I've given you 2 examples. Yes.
Sorry.
Did you multiply 80 times 70 or?
No. Why would I multiply? I haven't done any multiplication. What have I done so far in all this? It's add or subtract, or divide by a half, or multiply by a half. That's it. Never doing anything other than that. Okay? All of this.
You subtract by 360.
I subtracted by 360. Why did I subtract from 360? A whole circle is 360 degrees. And they gave you 2 parts of it, and I need the 3rd part. Okay? All right, so let's do another one.
No.
Okay. All right. First off, what can we find? We're going to find this arc right here. We have arc. We have an arc. Angle. So what do we have? Where do they intersect? First off, in. So what equation am I going to use? Angle 1/2 arc plus arc, right? So what's my angle?
85.
Equals 1/2 100 plus arc, right? So what do I do next?
85 equals.
You have to
So we're playing with that.
Multiply by 2/1, right? So I'm canceling out my 1/2.
Equals 2.
1/2 100 plus arc equals 170. Now what do I do to get my arc, guys?
Subtract both sides.
Subtract both sides by 100. Arc equals,
70.
and there's your arc, using your angle. Okay? You use your equation, you plug, and then you have to do regular mathematical principles and steps to solve, using your canceling and moving them. Yes.
Wouldn't
Half.
that 85 be congruent with your arc?
No.
It's not.
Because remember, the only time it's congruent is if it's a circle, and that's not intersecting the center of the circle.
How are we saying that 85 is equal to half 100 plus?
What do you mean?
Wait a second. I didn't. 100.
Replace the arc with the
Okay. Okay, got it. Never mind. Answer my own question in my head.
Okay, good. Yeah,
So you were just solving for x.
that time, yes. Or
X equals
Got
70,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was
but
missing.
it's smaller than 85.
doesn't matter.
Oh, 85 is not there.
This is not in the middle.
You
You guys.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. You don't gotta. It's not in the middle. So it's technically it's gonna be closer to that other side. So the 100's gonna be bigger than the 70%. Yes.
When you're doing it with the 2 arcs, does it matter which 2 you use?
Which 2 arcs you use?
Yeah, like could they be next to each other? With
Yeah, you have to do the arcs across from each other.
Okay.
You can't because then these 2 go with these 2 angles.
Chloe.
Okay? Alright? Guys, there's a lot of commotion, a lot of extra stuff. You guys need to focus in. Wow. And it keeps going. Wow. Alright, so any questions on these? Let's do one more, and then we'll release you to doing the homework from last night and the new homework. You have 20 minutes to work on it in class. Alright, so we have our problem, our circle. Okay, so watch carefully. Let's set it up. Where are my lines intersecting?
Out.
Out. So which equation am I going to use? Arc minus arc, right? I'm going to use the subtraction one. Okay, so 1/2 arc minus arc equals my angle, which is 15, right?
Uh-huh.
So what do we do first?
So you have 15 equals 1/2 times 120 minus. Oh, never mind. Or you can do that.
All right, get rid of the 1/2, right?
So 30.
30 equals 120 minus
arc,
arc, right?
and you just add 120. Wait.
You minus 1.
Minus 120, good.
Change the angle.
Which is going to give me a negative arc equals a negative
What?
Yeah, negative 70.
negative 90, right?
Yeah.
Do I agree? So if they're both negative, then they both are.
Positive.
So answer is
90.
okay.
Okay.
Oh, you divide by it. It's arc.
Can't get any harder. Can't get any harder. Okay. So go ahead and turn that off. Here's your homework.